Life makes no sense. You're on a planet right now. You're on a space rock floating in nothingness, infinite nothingness, and the infinite nothingness is expanding. That means endlessness is getting bigger. That makes no sense.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to JG's Lounge. We are back with another episode of Consistently Inconsistent with several new guests today. We also got our co-host Ev.O.Lution here, man. How you doing today? It's not letting me unmute you. Are you hitting the button? Quit hitting buttons. Let me do it. There we go. Nope. Ev.O.Lution you're rejecting the request to unmute the microphone.
What?
There you go. Do it again. We're off to a great start. There you
go. Love this professionalism.
Smooth.
Welcome in, everybody. New format. Everything else is just jacked up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Ev.O.Lution, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I got me some rest today. Got interrupted as usual, but the content keeps coming, man. It's just so much coming, and it just doesn't stop. So I'm looking forward to the things that are about to hit in a few days, and the things that are going to be hitting within the next 30 days. So
yeah, we got a lot of shows happening, man. A lot of new stuff. Patrick up next to me. He's back in the flow of things. He's actually just did his own show by himself. How you doing, Patrick?
Yeah. But yeah, I produced the show by myself. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, fun to be here. Yeah, Jukebox messaged me at 9:00, which is like, I don't know, 4:18 Ireland time. I don't know. A week from last Tuesday. Fuck. I don't know.
Hey, it's my fault, guys. Okay, you know, it is what it is. I mean, kind of. Vinnie's always either late or just no show. So there's that.
I'm consistently inconsistent. What can I say?
That's a good point, man. Vinnie, how you doing, dude?
I'm good. A little tired, but I'm good. Nice. I've had a few days off work. Been super productive, but today, man, I've just been lazy. I've just been playing GTA 4 and watching that new Adolescence miniseries on Netflix. I finished it right before you decided that it was actually now was the time to record.
I wanted to give you a positive news, man. It was an hour earlier rather than an hour later.
Yeah, but like
really, you're not actually 45 minutes, early. Wait, you're 45 minutes early, not 15 minutes late.
Yeah, exactly. So you get me. I had an hour prep time. I was like, it's cool. Like, I'll be all like solid. Everything's grand. And like, get the link from Dylan. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. I was like, why is he sending it an hour before the show? He usually sends 15 minutes before.
All right, so a little bit of a kind of what's going on with this show. So we started Consistently Inconsistent because Ev.O.Lution was like, hey, man, we should do something together. I was like, okay, well, I can't promise that we can do a show consistently. Mm-hmm. So we came up with Consistently Inconsistent. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. Recently, we started having guests on. Basically, we each pick 2 to 3 life proverbs. We read them, and then we usually don't know what it is until the show starts. For those of you that are tuning in, we appreciate you. Jump in the comments. And then once we read them, we'll kind of give what we think the term means, and then we go around the room and we each kind of give our own perception. Typically, me and Ev.O.Lution kind of have different views on the same term, which is great. So if you guys are like, nah, I don't agree with that, that's fine. So, and I think last time I started, so Ev.O.Lution, what you got, man?
I've got break the ice. So basically, this is a term or a saying that, like, when you meet someone, you don't know them, of course, so you find a way to break the ice and get past that wall of I don't know you, to try to get more comfortable with that person so you can communicate and just go from that point on. I had a mental thought when I was reading Break the Ice. I was thinking about this very cold area where you walk in thin ice and about to fall through. on the lake. Don't ask me where that came from.
Sounds like a terrible experience, man.
Right? But breaking the ice is just basically when you first meet someone. Uh, typically, you just try to find ways to get past the "I don't know you" stage and get more comfortable with that individual, so you can uh, go from there.
I mean, I agree with that. I think for me, when I hear the term breaking the ice, it's like, what is it that you do to break the ice? Like if I'm meeting you for the first time, like I listen to a lot of different genres of music, so I can be like, hey man, what kind of music you into?
Mm-hmm.
And then like based on how they react, usually I can throw out a few band names or ask suggestions, but that's kind of my little buffer to kind of break that barrier with somebody I don't know. That's for me, that's kind of how I feel about it. What do you got, Patrick?
So the history of break the ice is actually from it. It means two people standing, like the evolution was kind of right. Two people standing on a frozen lake or a frozen pond, and you break the ice. You both fall in. You come out. And what better way to get to know somebody than the best way to warm up? You strip your clothes naked, strip naked, and you hug each other. Body to body transfer is the best way to warm. What better way to get to know somebody?
Yeah, when you feel a little bit of chub going on between the
You're
legs.
gonna learn what they like, what they dislike. I mean,
I actually thought you were on. I thought you were actually telling us the real history behind it until you start stripping some clothes off.
Yeah, I lean in. I lean in all interested.
That's good.
Yeah, this is the balderdash of idioms.
So Patrick, what do you do to break the ice with people? I mean, you're a stand-up comedian. Is that like you usually tell a joke? I feel like when you're telling somebody a joke, sometimes you got to watch it because you don't know that person.
No, it's usually honestly, it's a case-by-case basis. So like, especially with the field of work I'm in, I deal with the public a lot. So you just learn how to approach different people. The way I would break the ice with an old person versus a young person. Different races, different genders. All different kinds of things. There's no one set way.
Right. So what you got, Vinny?
Oh, I think break the ice is probably like from the Illuminati. They don't want you to break through the ice wall and reach the outer realms, get off the Earth. 100%. Like, unusual what I do to break the ice, right? Normally, what I do is I pick a target, I learn the routine, and just like a little bit of light stalking. I'm not a weirdo. Just follow them around, just like take some photographs, just get to know them from a distance, and then come in, maybe like let myself into their abode late at night when they're sleeping, because that's a very intimate experience. And then I would watch over them for a while. Just intimacy. And then maybe stroke their hair, and then if they wake up, I'd introduce myself, because they're home after all. And then we just see and depending on soundproofing, we just see where the night goes.
Oh my
God. All right. Okay. I looked it up. Okay. So it's 16th century, Sir Thomas, which I don't know who Sir Thomas, it doesn't say, Google didn't tell me who Sir Thomas is. It just says the 16th century, and he talks about using it to forge a path for others. So breaking the ice to forge a path.
So it's a sailing thing.
Do what?
It's a sailing thing, ice breaking.
Yes.
Remember, you put icebreakers in the front of ships to create these shipping channels and shipping lanes. So it's probably like a sailing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
Nice.
Evolution, you usually got something else to throw in there, man. You got anything else?
Well, to form a path, I guess a path of life with someone, friendship, whatever. Usually, when I break the ice with someone I don't know, I'll say something off the wall to kind of redirect their thought process. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, the sky is actually a little blue today. You know what I mean? Some weird like that.
Yeah.
And then
I would
they'll look
definitely be like, "What are you talking about?" Man?
right. So
Dude, it's nighttime. What are you talking about?
right. So it triggers conversation, right?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
so it just takes your mind away from what you're thinking about just for a moment, so you can connect with that person. So I usually
Mhm.
do it. Say some little weird off the wall stuff that people never expect, and
Mhm.
then they're like, "What?" And then
I,
you get. Go ahead.
I think there's a comfort in it too. Like sometimes when it's somebody new, like if you're working with them,
Hmm.
to kind of, if they're brand new, the easiest way to kind of get them comfortable with the situation or their job
Hmm.
is not to strip their clothes off and hug them.
Hey,
or,
I
or,
was just
or,
thinking,
or trail them to the house and stroke their hair while they're sleeping.
Actually,
you say tomato, I say tomato. I know.
the best
like,
way to get through this 8-hour shifts is just take your clothes off
Just,
and hug everybody.
how you doing? I'm Patrick. Oh, you're sleeping.
But no, actually, I think getting somebody comfortable makes the shifts easier, makes the job easier for everybody. There's no tension. Like that would definitely be a lot of tension if I told somebody that.
So,
like if I was to walk up and say like, "Have you ever seen blood in the moonlight?" Well, it appears quite black.
I'm going to attempt to exercise the Vinnie method of breaking the ice.
just a light stalking, man. That's just a light stalking. It's a medium stalking. You know what
Just
I mean?
light, just gentle stalking.
Yeah, it's gentle. You know,
I mean,
The softer the
geez.
stroke, the less you wake them. Just
Right?
it's like when you're following somebody in the car and making the same things you do, and
yeah.
just
We're both going for a night drive together. Just,
it just happens to be your bedroom.
It's like writing a biography about somebody without them realizing you're writing a biography.
With
It's like-
information from their diary.
say, hey, I noticed you at 3rd Street. So we're on like 113th now. So
Also, you are horrible at punctuations. Just wanted to throw that out.
Right? It's THERE, for Christ's sakes.
All right. My first one for tonight is to dig the well before you're thirsty. I don't know if you guys have heard that one before. Basically, it means if you're planning something, whether it be a journey or whatever, kind of plan appropriately in case there's like something that comes up. Don't procrastinate on it. For example, have a spare tire aired up before you go across the roads in case you break down on the side of the road. Instead of just being like, oh, tomorrow I'm going, and wake up and jump in the car. Just kind of being prepared for things, like whether it's financial stuff or anything, having that backup plan ready to go. That's what to dig the well before you're thirsty means. What you got, Patrick?
That sounds like some fucking prospector shit right there.
Yeah, mine are a little bit more deep. That's where Vinny puts the people that he likes to stalk.
Only if they wake up. It's circumstantial, bro. Like, we don't end up in the well if they don't want to end up in the well. Okay?
I was getting thirsty watching you. So
Dig the well before you're stalky.
Puts the lotion on her, gets the hose again.
This is one of those idioms that it's just like you don't need it because it's just like be prepared. You don't need
Exactly.
This wise old dude with the corncob pipe. Back in my day, we would dig
dig the well before we're thirsty.
and you're sitting there, you're like, what? And, I said the sky's a little blue today. Fucking dude's off his rocker. Okay.
That's why they're called proverbs, okay? It's old men with corn pipes just sitting around. Retired old men.
Oh man, that's funny.
So you still didn't answer the question though.
What?
What do you think of it? Like what do you think it means?
It just means be prepared.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. You're great for this show, Patrick. Thanks. Man, I debunked that before you even finished it. How about you, Vinny? What you got?
Okay. Hold on, real quick. Sorry, Vinny, but here's the prep I got for the show. We're doing a show on idioms.
Exactly. You know what Vinny said? Vinny's like, I have no idea what an idiom is.
Yeah, I was like, what's an idiom?
You're an idiom, motherfucker. You stupid idiom.
What do you got, Vinny?
Yeah, I think it just means like be prepared. It's kind of like
They're great.
Oh, that's awesome.
I agree with Patrick.
This is the final episode of Consistent.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Feel free to jump in the comments or jump in our well that we just dug. All right, Ev.O.Lution. I'm sure you got something a little bit better. Come on, man.
this guy's
You know their comments were great. Their comments were great. But I'm gonna go here, man. This is kind of like an old school way of saying being prepared, of course. But I'm thinking about like a survivor type of situation or a traveler situation from back in the day. You know, when they're going long journey trips. And
Sorry, I had to do
it. And they're like, you know, we're gonna take a break, but let's dig the well before we thirsty, right? This is awesome. Right?
That nearly killed me.
Anyways, continue Ev.O.Lution. I'm sorry, I had to.
Just basically, it's being prepared.
Oh my god.
Okay, I can see.
Wrapping up the show, we're done.
To expound a little on what Ev.O.Lution was saying, but yeah, so you're in the Conestoga wagons crossing, the Oregon Trail. It's half your people died of dysentery and stuff. And so the first thing you do when you stop would be dig a well. It's a survival thing. So you dig the well, so that way you would have water when you're thirsty, not struggling to get it.
Right.
Because the first two things you do would be dig the well and dig the latrine, so you can get the water and get rid of the water.
Right.
So, was that better? Did I redeem myself?
Yes. So there was an author that wrote a book called "Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty." That's the title of it, and it's about the importance of networking and building relationships to prepare for opportunities.
I was way off.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like more to be prepared for in case something bad happens, not something good happens. It's not really like.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
you're preparing,
that's how I
like,
think of it.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. Because like if you're digging the well before you're thirsty, it's like saying you have to plan ahead before there's something bad happens. So you're not being reactive; you're being proactive. Pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I do get the business
That can be serious.
aspect of it, but I definitely didn't expect it to be that.
Yeah. I think that was that author's interpretation of it, saying
Yeah.
it can be bored, to be
It
honest.
makes. I mean, that's kind of why we do this show, to see the different interpretations of it. So,
Mhm.
but I think all four of us kind of just agreed with Patrick. It's to be prepared, guys. What do you got, Patrick? Do you have an idiom for us tonight?
Yes, I do. Oh shit, where'd it go? God damn it. There we go. A new lease on life.
Mm-hmm.
And this
What is
is, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna give you my interpretation. So, you live your life in one way for so long, and you're in a horrible marriage for, like, we'll say 18 years.
Okay.
Married to a narcissist, and she's horrible and not really good to you and stuff, and beats you
Sounds
down.
pretty specific, dude.
No, it's completely hypothetical. I don't know where you're getting this.
You better start digging your well, bud.
I prefaced it with "let's say," which just implies everything after is fiction. And then you get out of that marriage, and you feel free, and you can do what you want and become who you always wanted to be. And then you meet a woman who helps you cultivate that and bring out the you that you were supposed to be. It's your new lease on life.
Right. There's actually a place
made up just right off the top of my head.
There's a if anybody's interested, there is an animal shelter in Struthers, Ohio, named New Lease on Life. Just to throw it out there.
Nice.
I'll be fucked up if it was a kill shot.
That's very good information.
I was looking it up, okay, while I was talking.
Just holding cats up, give them a new a gun ring.
There's a cute picture of a dog with a tennis ball.
Hey, Dylan, because of that last statement, I have a new lease on life. Thank you very much.
I honestly thought you were dropping an ad. To be honest,
if you would like to see our sponsors today, a new lease on
I honestly thought this was like, okay.
Tag them in it.
Yeah, I was like, this is a pure organic ad drop here. I love it.
Vinnie, what you got, man? What do you think of that?
New lease on life. Yeah, I like to get a lease. Like, you know, is it what way do they mean the word lease? Like to be released? Now you've got a new life because you've been off the leash, or is it like a lease? Like, you know what I mean, where you have like ownership over it over time or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what way to mean the word lease.
Yeah, because to me, like the term lease means temporary, right? Like
temporary ownership, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like maybe it's a positive where you got a new lease on life. It's like you've been released from whatever, like a hypothetical 18-year marriage, like, and like, I mean, from a narcissist or whatever. I'm just picking ideas from the leases. And so like a brand new life like that, or maybe just saying that happiness is only temporary. That like no matter what happens, even if you have a new life per se, that old routines, old formulas will reoccur because that's human nature. And maybe a new lease on life can be interpreted as a positive or a negative in terms of like happiness is only temporary.
I like that. Happiness is only temporary.
Nice.
Evolution.
I'm kind of piggybacking on where Patrick started and trying to go a little bit further.
Just make sure it's hypothetical, okay?
Hypothetically, on that Thursday of last month, at about 2 p.m. No. So
Lost your sound there, Stanford.
Yeah.
You can't hear me?
Now we can.
No, we can't.
You had to once you pause and then came back, it was fine.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, so as Patrick was saying, once you get past a point in your life or whatever you're dealing with, he said that you become, I guess, the you that you want to be or the new you. Depending on what it is, I'll just go with his example of a relationship. I think you become who you are because when you're in a situation like that, it's hard to be yourself. When you're dealing with a person that's challenging you, I'll say it like that, and making your life a little difficult. Once you get past that and break it off with that person,
Right.
you can kind of detach and breathe and become who you actually are, which is taking ownership of your new lease on life.
Right.
That's kind of what I got from what Patrick was saying.
That's what I've heard.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I've learned about.
For me, it's funny because I've heard of a new look on life.
Mhm.
Justin Lewis in the house. This is my buddy Job Les on TikTok. He's a great guy.
What's
He's
up,
also
Douglas?
part of the network as well. He was on the last episode.
Hmm.
But like I've always heard of it as a new look on life. So like to observe it. So to hear it from the term of a new lease on life, like taking control of it and running with it, I actually think that there's a lot more power to it said that way. Just so kind of piggyback on all of you guys, I agree. It's to be prepared. But no, I've never heard it said a new lease on life. I like that.
You've
I like
never
that
heard
one.
that saying before, no?
I've always heard a new look on life, which
That's
I feel like it's the same thing, just more powerful with
that's
a
some
new
backwards
lease.
Kansas shit.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We see you. Just jump in the comments if you'd like to be a part of the show. We'll add you to it.
A new lease on life refers to feel renewed and hopeful after a difficult period, say 18 years.
Hypothetically,
Picking a random number.
that's a long period, man.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Sidebar: I didn't even think of that situation until I started reading the new lease.
You know what? This actually really relates with something that happened. Very hypothetical situation.
It relates to something that
Allegedly.
Vinny, you got anything for us, man? You got anything you grew up? Any phrases that you've heard that maybe we don't know?
Kill two birds with one stone. I know I'm only joking because that's the one you sent me in as the example.
Kill two birds with one stone. I just threw something out there to give you an example.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Like since I really wasn't sure of what an idiom was about an hour ago. I don't like what kind of sayings. Like I'm trying to think of something Irish.
Oh shit, you're Irish?
Yeah. Wait, you're mocking me.
Actually, this is hypothetical. He's not really.
I'm not even a real person, dude. I'm AI.
He's this new AI thing that they
artificially Irish. If I start lagging, that's not my connection. That's just my programming. But no, I don't know. Come back to me.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I got another round here, anyways. I believe it's your turn again, Evolution.
Okay. Go ahead, Patrick.
What?
You say something?
What?
Huh? Who?
Okay, so my second one is hit the sack. Hit the sack.
Hit the sack.
Yeah. And
just don't hit mine, please.
Right, and this is something that I value lately because I'm so exhausted, and I always look forward to taking a nap. So, hit the sack is kind of the phrase that I really am looking forward to capitalizing on within these last few months. So, to me, it's just simply getting a chance to take a break, take a rest, and take a load off. Hit the sack.
This
You just
is
used an idiom to describe an idiom. Take a load off. That's like idioception.
You didn't even explain it. You just did it under
That's the
idiom.
name of the episode.
It's like answering a question with a question. Are you in politics?
It originates from the 19th century practice of sleeping on sacks filled with hay or straw.
Boom. There you go. But in the job environment, sometimes you have to have political responses. So I guess at some point, I can be political when necessary.
Dude, I feel like I don't even hit the sack. I feel like I rest my head on a pillow for an hour or two and then wake back up. Like I think of hitting the sack like actually getting some good sleep. I feel like I don't get good sleep. So I don't know, like, because you hear people say that term and it's like, oh man, I gotta get some sleep. But like if you're not well rested, I feel like it kind of defeats the purpose of the term. But I don't know, that's just my view on it. Because like for me, 4 to 5 hours is average for me, and then like every 6 or 7 days I'll hit the sack hard and I'll sleep like 10 hours. Wake up pulling hay out of my ass cheeks and everything, man. I'm just ear holes, all of it. Patrick, what you got, man?
I found out hit the sack is an illegal boxing move. No, so we used to say it in the Army when I was in basic training because you'd wake up at butt 30 and go all fucking day, and then we'd just be like hit the sack. It also means hit the hay. To describe it with another idiom for. But I actually equated it to when you hit the sack, you're going to bed exhausted. Because you're just flopping, you're just hitting the sack, you're not crawling into bed, you're not going night-night, you are hitting the sack. So
I agree with what you said. What you got, Vinny?
I was going to say, like, hit the sack or hit the hay. Maybe they were like literally back in the old times where you'd fall asleep on a bed of hay or whatever. You'd actually hit it, make sure there was no rats or something in it, or mice.
It's possible.
You know what I mean?
That actually makes sense.
Maybe that's what they used to do. Like, maybe they used to just like hit stuff, and then if there was anything in it, would scatter before you go to sleep.
Hit the hay before you lay on it.
I do that now, and my wife like scurries away.
She's like combing your beard, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I'm checking the hay. Okay.
I seen a mouse. A
fucking bird.
But no, I just to what he said, like I think it's more of like that, like you are about to crash out, like you're just out of it. Like that's what I think of when somebody says that. What you got, Vinny?
He just told you.
In terms of proverbs, is this a proverb like where they say it's a recession if your neighbor loses his job, but it's a depression if you lose yours. In terms of like how how tragedy is often decided by perception and perspective.
Yeah.
That like, you know what I mean? That like pretty much you view it as a small minor thing if it happens to someone else, but if it happens to you, it kind of grows in scope and scale, like in terms of how it's viewed by yourself or something. I'm very tired.
Yeah. No, that's good. Never even heard that, but yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good because people typically do that. Something happens to somebody else, they're like, it's not that bad. But if it happens to them, it's catastrophic. The world's going to end. You know what I mean? So, I definitely can identify with that from thinking about situations with other people. Like Patrick, But
That was hypothetical, man.
yeah. Oh, that was classic. That was classic. Oh shoot. But that's pretty good, Vinny. Pretty good. Pretty good.
And I think that actually we had on one of the past shows, somebody mentioned "Not my monkey, not my circus." Like same concept, you know. If it's not your problem, it's not as intense. But like, you know, if somebody gets in a car crash, you're like, man, that sucks. You know, if you don't know who they are. But if it's you or something else, obviously it's a lot more intense. It's affecting a lot more than just the car, you know, your lives.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I think of when you said that. Like that's the first thing that hit me. And then, what do you got for that, Patrick? Yeah.
Well, I got a couple of things. First off, the car crash thing. Your neighbor gets in a car crash. You're like, oh my God, that sucks. You drop a hammer on your toe. And that is worse than what they went through in your mind because it happened to you, you know?
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I think it goes to a lack of empathy type thing, you know. And I don't know, you know, not to get too political here, but in the States right now, things are kind of fucked up.
American getting political, never.
Yeah. No matter what side you're on, you know, it's a little crazy right now, and I think there's a huge lack of empathy to know that, you know, people are going through some serious shit that they don't have to go through, right? You know, they shouldn't have to go through, or you know, just all kinds of stuff, you know. So, yeah, I think a real dick wrote that line because it's just. Oh, fuck, man, that ain't happening. It comes back to like, well, no, we gotta take care of each other. You know, we get 80 years on this rock. We got to make the best of it, not just for ourselves, but for the people around us.
You got to follow people home and learn the routines. And
Who are you? Where did you come from? Why are you rubbing my hair?
It's our hair now. It's our hair now.
Just hit the side.
Have you ever tasted human flesh? I have.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. Is it my turn? Is it my turn?
Sure.
I did two already. Did you do two?
Yeah.
You did two. You did. Oh yeah, and then okay. I got my second one.
Where's the Irish one?
This is it. The work praises the man.
That sound familiar, Vinny?
Well, I'm not a very hard worker. I know. It's like, come on, it's like 4 a.m. I'm up here with you guys, you know.
Does that sound familiar though? Have you heard that phrase before?
No, I haven't heard the phrase before, but I kind of understand what it means. Whereas, like, if you take pride in your work, it will actually come back and make you look good.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I think of. Like when I think of it, I think of somebody who brags about how good they are, and then they go to work and they're like, it's half-ass work and they're not that great. As to somebody who actually goes out there, does the job, and they don't have to say anything. They walk away, and everybody's like, "Damn, that looks great." Like that's what I think of.
So you read my book then, yeah?
Here's another ad spot for you guys. What you got, Patrick?
Well, I can tell you what I don't think of when I think of that phrase. That's Ev.O.Lution.
Oh God!
Attack!
It's you know,
I threw the first stone. I threw the first stone.
There you go with those damn idioms.
yeah. So like, I think it comes from like craftsmanship and trades and stuff like that. Because when I hear that, I'm thinking of like a mason, a bricklayer or something like that. Because it's just like, they do, the best ones that do it, especially back in the day, really didn't have to advertise because, you had your wall built by, Chuck, and people saw how good Chuck was, and they weren't calling Steve or Vinnie to build their wall because Vinnie was up till 4 in the morning talking to a
Taking
bunch
work out my mouth, taking food out my mouth here.
You've been off for 6 days. I heard you
paid as well.
Wall.
Being paid to play GTA 4. Amazing.
But yeah, so I think it has to do with craftsmanship, just being so good. Like you were saying, that you don't have to brag. Your work does the talking for you,
Right.
So but I'm thinking like something physical, whether it's building something or a chef or something like that. It's just your work speaks for itself. Well, fuck, I used the idiom for
speaks for itself. What does that mean? What you got, Evolution? I think you're the only one that hasn't spoke on it yet.
Basically, the work praises a man. I'm thinking about kind of like on the lines that you and Patrick were saying, but to go the direction that I'm trying to go, I'll say like a performance review or a reward or an award. Like, for instance, a movie actor, they receive an award for a great performance. They don't say anything, they put in the work, but they're acknowledged for the results of how the movie went. You know what I mean? It's like what others say about you, whether it's work or just as a person, period. You're being praised for how you are, what you do to merit that praise. You're not bragging, like you said, jukebox, but you're just doing you and doing what you can do. And in the end, you're rewarded for it with praise from others. That's what I got.
All right. Does anybody got anything else they want to throw in? We're about to wrap this up. Unless you got another one.
Me?
Anybody? If anybody's got another one.
Don't speak at once.
I actually kind of think we should wrap it up just because we're kind of running late.
Okay. So you can get some sleep.
You think so?
We really need to hit the sack, guys. No, actually, I do. I gotta get my daughter from the neighbors.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
Yeah, got to get the daughter.
Yeah, and Vinny is actually getting ready to jump on a show here in a minute.
Wait, what?
He jumped on this one an hour early, so
That's funny. This has been hilarious, man.
This is a good episode.
I'm glad everybody was able to be a part of this. Definitely comical today. I appreciate everybody's input and enthusiasm.
I am curious what you guys thought of this show. With all the shows we have on the network, Patrick, what did you think?
This was a lot of fun, and I think a 4-person panel works really well.
Yes,
and when you have funny hosts or funny guests like me and Vinny on, it makes you two look so much better.
Thank you, Patrick.
That's a fact of life.
Yeah. Fuck that hypothetical ex-wife of yours. Thank you, Patrick.
I tell you what, I feel like I need to grow a beard after this episode.
I didn't even think of that. What did you think, Vinny? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, man, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was definitely worth waiting up for. Like, yeah, it's good. There's lots of caffeine in me right now. I'm like, do you know when Thor hits Iron Man with the lightning and it's like 1,000% power, like capacity? That's me right now. But I'll probably crash out in a little while. You
Yeah,
know,
you'll hit the
I
sack
said,
pretty hard.
yeah, right after I do this show that I have starting in a few minutes, seemingly. Yeah, it was
All right.
nice to come on. Thanks so much for having us, man.
Yeah, of
That's
course,
great.
man.
Nice meeting you, Vinny. You're a
And
fucking blast.
Yeah,
before we go,
he's actually. Oh yeah,
check out
let's
my book.
plug it.
Check out my book, River Bones. Oh shit, where's the camera? There we go.
There you go.
I'm not a cameraman. There we go. Check out my book, River Bones, now available on Amazon, all formats, paperback, hardback, ebook, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. If you have that membership, enjoy. Thank you so much,
Nice.
Dylan.
Awesome.
What's it
Thank you,
about?
Stanford. Thank
Yeah,
you,
you want
Patrick.
you want to give Patrick a little kind of
Yeah, what's
abbreviation about it?
It's a revenge story. The protagonist's name's Jeremiah Solomon. He suffers a tragedy at the beginning of the book, and then he has to figure out who is to blame for that tragedy. And then the story unfolds, and a much larger world kind of opens up to him, where him and a couple of survivors from the town of Sweetwater stumble upon this bigger world with lots of magic and monsters and madness, and it's set in the Old West in 1870.
Oh, very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's cowboys and werewolves, people. So yeah,
It's a nice
Nice.
Well,
Nice.
what I went for is Halloween last year. What are the odds?
twist. Vinny goes for a stalker every year, so there's that.
yeah. Well, technically, I go for a new victim every year. But like,
You just dressed
All
like
right,
a
hey.
witch.
We appreciate everybody that's been tuning in tonight on Consistently Inconsistent. We appreciate our guests tonight, Vinny and Patrick. And until next time, everybody, we appreciate you being a part of JG's Lounge, and we will see you around.